You're listening to WinterHouse Gaming Podcast.
I like your attractive use of finger gun through the whole intro.
I like pointing at people. Yeah, my name is David.
I am Tony, a.k.a. Count Chocula, a.k.a. Big Thunder.
I am Kelly. I don't know if I can beat that.
You can't.
We do have a special guest again. I don't know how many times someone has to be on this podcast in order to just become part of it and be enveloped in it.
He's a super special guest.
Super special guest. That means be
He
gentle.
actually came here on a short bus.
All right, we got Brandon over here.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, Brandon?
Oh,
Just
not bad.
remember,
Oh my
that
God.
Kelly started out as a special guest on the WinterHouse Gaming Podcast, and one day,
Yes.
if you're lucky and can even come close to being a tenth as cool as Kelly is, then maybe we might think about letting you audition to
Didn't I
be
drive
part of
your
the
super
WinterHouse.
cool man here?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah, saved us a couple bucks, so we'll be all right. I almost got like a perma grin because I've been drinking so many of these damn things.
Oh, one of these twisted teas.
These twisted teas.
Yeah, you're a real man.
Dude, you know what? You go fuck yourself. I like twisted teas. I think they're awesome. They taste good, and I'm just not a beer guy. So you can go fuck yourself.
Is Kelly a beer guy? I want to know.
Kelly, are you a
This,
beer guy?
Inquiring minds and all that.
He likes racing beer. It tastes like diesel.
Racing beer.
Racing beer.
Is that what this is?
Is that what you drink a PBR while you're playing NASCAR?
Oh, let's take another left turn. This podcast is brought to you by Lowe's and PBR.
Well, you got my brother's attention.
Oh my god, what happened? Yeah. So you like beer, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. What kind of beer?
I prefer craft beer, really.
Look at
I
me.
just drank this because, I mean, it's PBR, it goes down easy, and it was free, really.
It's just like your mom.
Yeah. I mean that sounds oddly familiar.
I apologize to Kelly's mom if you're listening to this podcast.
She probably will later.
Yeah, we
You're a
thank
nice
you.
lady.
She's a wicked nice lady. She donated like money to us to help us out, and we appreciate that. Did we ever give her a shout out for that?
Yeah.
No, we didn't actually.
Mom, thank
Hey.
you.
Because those came
Hey,
in, and
thanks
I'm
a
gonna
lot,
bring her
Kelly's
one.
mom.
Yeah.
Wink.
With a wink.
That was a wink if you could see it in dark shadows.
They'll see it on the GoPro,
Yeah,
probably.
Tony during the day.
Tony After Dark. Sounds like a Cinemax show.
It does.
I'd watch that.
Sounds
Is it in,
terrifying.
like, the adult section of HBO?
Yeah.
Like, this show is worse than that. It
That's
movie that
all
just
of
came out.
HBO. Anyway, we've got some topics that we want to talk to you about today. We're coming at you with topics relevant to gaming.
Okay, go.
Well, I just went and saw It last weekend.
No, laughing, my head hurts now. Headache.
I went and saw Stephen King's It, the remake, in theaters.
Oh, how was that?
It was amazing. I thought it was really great, although
Let's see how many times...
I feel like the beginning of the movie, actually, I don't want to say, but pretty much all of the movie focuses on, like the Losers Club. If you've seen the original movie, has anyone here seen the original?
I had nightmares for like the first. Yeah, no,
God,
no,
this whole conversation with you is a nightmare.
dude, it is. You know I don't like scary fucking movies.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
about
do.
as scary
You
as
almost
you can
lost
get.
your shit when I played Resident Evil 7.
I can't watch it. My whole body
love it.
fucking shakes and it's weird. It's
Anyway,
awkward.
the whole premise of
I'm not a fucking
the
human
movie,
vibrator.
without trying to give it away, if you haven't seen it, or if you've been
Let's see
looking
how many
under a
times I
rock
can
here,
say it during the conversation about it.
is that now see, now I'm going to be self-conscious the whole time. So the premise of the movie is that obviously you have like the evil clown. His name is Pennywise, and he terrifies this town of Derry, Maine. And you have a group of children. They're about probably 11, 12 years old, and they are kind of made victims, and the clown kind of freaks them out and
I'm
terrifies
terrified
them.
right now.
I know.
If you guys weren't
Pissing
in this room
yourself
right now,
because it's getting on me.
I'm...
Please stop. Oh wait, no, that's me.
Why is
pissing
my
myself.
leg so warm?
And anyway, they're and then they end up not defeating it, but kind of driving it away, and then they kind of do it again as adults years later.
I laugh on the inside every time you say it.
I know.
No.
Me too.
Because every time you say it, it makes sense because you're saying it.
Yeah,
Do you get it? Yeah.
I get it. Anyway,
You saw it.
feels like the group of kids it kind of resembles to me the Goonies, and I feel like it was trying to kind of compete with Stranger Things.
Wait, did
and
you say that it was trying to compete with Stranger Things?
Like they
Stranger
focus-
Things came out.
I know
first.
I know, but the
I mean,
remake
it came out first.
the remake of the movie, like it had a tighter the kid there was more emphasis on them, and I feel like the way they acted and like the way the group of kids was portrayed was kind of like Stranger Things, which came out last
if you're
year.
trying to say that it was directed by a pedophile, I will fight you.
I'm not trying to say that.
I'm trying to say that. No. But seriously, the emphasis on the kid was
Yeah.
terrifying me.
I love putting emphasis on kids. I love putting it on kids.
You heard it first.
Wow. I'm terrified now. I'm gonna drink more.
In other news,
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is
Hand it
coming
down.
out at some point
Did you want this?
for some platform. I need the article here.
Yeah. Here you go.
You're leaving me high and dry.
Somebody help me.
Here, take this camera.
Oh yeah, you do have a camera in your hand.
I do have a camera in my hand. All right, so Red Dead Redemption 2 actually has a release date, and this is everything that we know. Is that
Do we know
Hold
it, or
on,
is there a source that knows it more than we know?
well, fucking give me a minute to read it, and I'll be able to tell you.
You're so pushy.
There he goes with it.
Did you read it?
Do you remember the teaser trailer for the game?
Yeah, it looked like a movie.
Came out like last year ish.
I mean, it looked like an actual movie, which was really cool.
There's a new trailer coming out for it
Okay.
next week. Yeah, next week on the 28th.
Were you counting on your fingers?
Yes, yes, I was, and I'm trying to actually find a release date here. Beep boop.
Killing me.
beep,
The
beep,
anticipation's
beep,
killing me.
boop,
I'm
beep,
really excited
beep.
about this game.
Fall 2017. Alright, so it's coming out soon.
I hope it has a deeper hunting. Oh, that is kind of soon.
It's
Wait,
we're in fall
are you sure it's not fall
2017.
2018?
No, coming
So
fall
here's-
2017. Look it.
Wow, here's the weird thing. They've given us almost nothing about it.
I know, but that's kind of Rockstar, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but wow, at least something a little more concrete. But that just seems a little weird.
I know. Why would they give us concrete? And I want us to give them. I want them to give us a video game.
Assholes. I hope that they have a little bit more like hunting.
Like
little
a
more...
good Will Hunting.
I was like, are you trying to say something specific or not so much goodwill hunting, but like you know how you could like hunt down birds and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I hope that that's a little more in depth.
Their
know what I
hunting
mean?
system in the game,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
some sort of interesting
kind of
hunting
like
system.
how Far Cry did it.
But-
a
Yeah,
little-
maybe I'm just talking about Far Cry.
Yeah,
I don't want it to be just like Far Cry. I just think it could use a little bit more.
maybe draw
hunting.
inspiration from it.
Yeah. I mean, or you just hunt down people and you can like just skin them. It's your turn now.
Do you need to do that in
You're
a
talking
game?
about Indians now.
Oh, we're talking about video games. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking
Alright.
about skinning any person. Well,
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know. What are you
I
trying
don't
to
know,
say? You sound like a serial killer right now.
I just want some sort of like interesting hunting aspect of it.
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know. I
you guys
really
are-
liked it in
You
the
guys are
last
attacking
game.
me on this, but in the first game, they had a bunch of bodies hanging from the friggin' rafters in a barn.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert. Has anybody not played it?
I
No?
think we're
Okay,
safe.
we're good.
Yeah, I think
Came out
we're
like
good.
safe.
We're
That game came out 7 years ago.
Yeah. Seven?
Wow.
Wow.
7 years ago.
Wow.
Anyway, moving on. Red Dead Redemption coming fall 2017, or maybe not. I don't know.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Anyway, kind of moving away from games for a second, into actually more tech. I know we covered the new Apple iPhone.
beat it with
David,
a
please
fucking
calm
dead
down.
horse.
The Google Pixel 2. What have you heard about that?
Zero.
Okay, well, it's a new phone by Google.
It hasn't really been
Google.
high. I mean, they've always made the Pixel, but it hasn't really been high on my radar.
Yeah.
I do know that Google phones, like the Pixel and stuff, usually get the newest updates,
Yeah.
Android updates, which rightfully so. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So people that have them are able to test things out first.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That's
Google launched a trade-in program for phones. to go towards the Google Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL.
So basically, hey guys, can you trade in your Samsungs and your LGs and your Apples for a Google Pixel?
Yep, basically.
Is that gonna go good?
Well, it's gonna go.
That's a weird. I feel like that's weird. Like, I mean, would you guys? I personally wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, definitely not.
I feel like I would just go to a store.
I'm kind of already set in my
and just
ways,
upgrade through
so-
my
Yeah.
carrier. Yeah.
And-
Not that I wouldn't try out something new, but
I owe
it's kind of a big leap.
$288 on my phone right now. Instead of trading it in for maybe like $110.
Right.
I could just sell it on Craigslist or eBay.
Well, trading phones is big business.
yeah.
Big business.
Yeah, huge business.
I mean, but the thing
Thanks
is,
for adding into that.
Yeah, I
Brandon.
tried to.
choose some like random adjectives and like verbs and just throw them in there randomly wherever you want, Brandon. That's really cool.
He just repeats.
That's really, really
but
cool.
he goes like a level higher. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's great.
It's really great. Yeah, we're just teasing you. But I personally, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I can go down to the store down here, and if they have a Pixel 2 on the shelf, I could be like messing around with it, seeing if I like it. I'm not gonna leave the store and be like, I'm just gonna call Google and get it, because I could just get it right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if they started taking trade-ins, like electronic trade-ins of random things, like laptops, cameras, the fan, I don't know. I feel like
If I was them, I wouldn't take that fan in trade.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
I've got a
let's
drill.
Let's get a picture of that fan.
I've got a drill over there that doesn't belong to me, and I mean, I could trade that in for the phone. That'd be great. But I just don't see. Yeah, that's the fan. Okay.
Awful looking
That's
fan.
the fan he's trading in for a Google Pixel 2.
Okay. You know what? My fan.
Here,
my
Kelly, it's your
fan.
turn to hold the camera.
Alright.
It's not a big fan, but it puts me to sleep at night. Well, anyway.
I'm a big fan of you.
Yeah, but I don't see people doing that.
Well, I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people right now are currently on phone payment plans, like to pay off their phone
Yeah,
as
and we're
as they
stuck in
use it.
that.
I know. I owe $288 on my phone right
I
now.
think I owe probably $200 something.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of wondering if I know some carriers like Verizon, US Cellular will like take phones in trade. So like if you trade in your phone, will that go toward the cost of paying it off so you can upgrade?
Okay, so listen to this. When you get a
He's gonna
phone from a
drop some
company,
knowledge.
when you get a cell phone from a company, what you do is you are renting this phone from them basically. If you finish the payments, you own it. If you don't finish the payments, you have to give it back. That remainder of $200 would be gone if you give it back,
Right.
and then you get another phone. And I know we kind of beat that whole thing with a dead horse last time.
We beat it with a dead horse? Taking it to a whole other level.
Dude, I can't even lift a horse.
Is it like a miniature horse?
Is it like the horse's leg?
Are we going to beat this
Oh
with
my
little
God.
Sebastian?
We're gonna beat it. What is it saying? Beat it like a dead horse?
Beat a dead horse.
Beat-
And even then, I'm questioning heavily.
Oh my god! All right, so yes, we talked about it a lot. I actually want to. Do you have any more to finish about the Google Pixel?
The Google Pixel, honestly,
'Cause I have a question.
I don't really know a whole lot about it. And, Baba Booey. I'll drink to that.
Okay. So,
Cheers.
okay. So here's what I want to do real quick, and I don't want this to be a huge long segment. I don't want to spend 30 minutes on this phone thing because it.
Who gives a fuck?
It was crazy
Who
last
gives a
time.
fuck?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got heated last time. I want to hear firsthand from somebody that has been an iPhone fan for a long time and has. We talked about Brandon getting a Android phone.
Wait a second.
The last
I'm going to stop you
podcast.
right there.
Please, what?
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you're talking about Brandon.
I just said Brandon.
You didn't
So
hear
I'm
the
right?
bruh?
So you're telling me I'm right? Yes,
You're
I'm telling you
there's
that
a
you are right.
chance.
So Brandon got a Samsung Note 8. Beautiful phone. I mean, it is a beautiful, beautiful phone.
I'd buck it.
I want one. Like, I want one. Brandon, coming from iPhone to Samsung, this is a big step for anybody. It really is.
Oh fuck yeah.
So
Have you been
Completely different
iPhone like?
things.
Have you been
Completely
iPhone
different.
for a long time?
Yeah, like 5 years.
Wow.
yeah,
That's a long
so
time.
he's been real loyal. He took this leap.
He took the Apple blood oath and everything.
Yeah.
He said the
You signed the
chant.
paper.
He
you
said
signed,
the chant.
You signed the fucking paperwork. You're lucky you're not a fucking human centipede right now. You're not. You're
Wouldn't it be a
lucky-
worm? Because like worms and apples.
No, you're lucky you're not the ass end of a fucking iPad right now. You ever see that South Park episode?
No.
You have to see it. It's
I-
just this human centipede because everyone signed the agreement
I'm not
for
a.
him.
I'm not a.
It's
fan of
disgusting.
that
It's
South Park.
disgusting. Anyway, so Brandon, how do you feel being a week in to this phone? Do you regret it? Do you like it? Will you think you'd ever go back? Are you gonna keep on the Android train?
Spill the beans.
Spill the fucking beans.
I think I'm definitely keeping on the Android train now. Just way more of a phone to play with, actually. Better
You're not
camera,
you're
better
not drinking-
operating system.
You're not drinking the apple juice anymore.
I'm not drinking the apple juice anymore. But it's just way more open of a phone. You can do so much more with it. Way more content to it.
Yeah.
Going back to Apple would be like going back from
It's easier to
getting
go
an
to-
iPad to going back to the little drawing pad you have as a kid with the two little
Etch a
knobs on the
sketch.
bottom.
Etch a sketch.
Yeah.
It's like an etch a sketch with a viewfinder.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. I mean, it's cool to hear that because I mean, what fanboy wouldn't like to hear that you came over to this
Yeah,
side.
right.
But
I heard a rumor.
Go ahead.
Well, not really a rumor, but there was a study
Don't start
done
rumors.
at some school in Cambridge that
Shots
Apple
fired.
intentionally slows down its older phones in order to get people to
Does
upgrade.
not surprise me
No.
at all.
And
Does not
again, I'm not
surprise me.
trying to bash on Apple. That's just something I heard.
Please.
If I heard something bad about
Definitely.
Android, I would tell you guys that as well.
Have you heard
And
anything
I'm
bad
going-
about Android?
I'm actually going to what?
Have you heard anything bad about Android?
I'm actually going to tell you right now.
Okay, go ahead.
And there you have it.
No, I
you have
definitely
it.
heard the same thing about Apple. Like when you get a new phone gets released, the prior two to that are already 3 updates behind before they even release
And it's true, but he's talking about purposely throwing an update into Apple to cause it to bog down just a little bit. There's a lot of different ways that they could
Yeah.
do that, and you can find proof of that. Like let's say for
Yeah.
instance they throw an update and you have 3 gigs of RAM available to you. Well, they can throw an update to only have 2 of that available.
Yeah.
1
Actually-
of that available. You know how easy that would be?
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect example. Last Sunday, I actually went out to my parents. My mom was having trouble with her iPhone 5C,
Wow.
and she went to go. I went to
That's
go.
old.
I know. I went to go download the newest update, and it said that you need at least 600 megabytes available to do it. She doesn't take pictures on her phone. She doesn't have music on her phone. Actually, I don't even know what she does with her phone. Plays Words with Friends.
She calls you.
I'm
I heard a
pretty
phone call
sure.
last night.
She did. That was actually a pocket dial. But
Oh, that's
Anyway.
just the same thing.
yeah,
That gives you a free way to not call her for like 2 weeks.
that was a shitty call. And so I went to go check the storage, and they said it had 0 KB available. 0 KB, not MB.
KB.
Yeah,
Kilobytes.
0 kilobytes available.
Really?
So I actually had to look through her pictures, through her apps. She had maybe 5 apps on the phone
Wow.
that aren't the stock, news, like the one that come with the
And
phone.
those apps don't really take up a whole lot of
No, they
space.
really
at all.
don't.
No.
Apple may, not Apple, Facebook maybe takes up 100, maybe 10, 15 megs.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's
Not a lot.
It's not a lot.
So
No,
I had
not
to
at
do
all.
I had to do a factory reset, and this was not easy considering she doesn't know. Not only does she not know what her email,
Username and password.
what her iCloud password is,
Yeah.
she doesn't even know
That it exists.
that it exists. I'm like, Mom, what's your iCloud password or what's your iCloud login? She's just like, it's an HP, and I'm just like, okay, yes it is, Mom.
Yeah.
But no, it's it's just weird that maybe it was just a glitch in the software, just not reading the available memory, but
Or the Matrix.
glitch in the matrix, deja vu, and I
It,
know
it
kung
is.
fu.
It is. it is weird that it sucks that they force us to log in. I mean, I don't like that. Even Google, I mean, Android does that. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of, if you want to update anything, if you want to like get apps and stuff, you have to have a login.
Yep.
You can't just do it as a guest kind of thing. It just doesn't work that way.
No.
Saving anything is impossible. If you want to save your contacts, you have to either write them down on a piece of paper,
Yep.
which who the fuck does that?
Or you have to like back them up into iTunes, which she's never done.
Yeah, you have to back things up. You have
She-
to do this
yeah.
and that, and they really tie you to it. And that's why some people decide that they don't want to be,
Part of the
stuck in
user
a,
experience.
Right. They don't want to. They don't want to be connected into any sort of anything.
Yeah.
So they use those regular clam phones and they just kind of count on whatever's happening to those.
Yeah.
But I mean, jokes on them because all the new even clamshell phones, they back them up to right to the carrier anyway.
Right, to the Verizon cloud or
So,
to the
Yeah.
carrier's
so anytime
cloud
you
service.
put a phone number in your phone and you call it or you do this and that, you're basically giving your carrier all this information. You really are.
If you're
and
They
doing
save
the-
your pictures and
can't-
stuff too.
Have you heard those?
so people, huh?
Have you heard those conspiracy theorists that say that Snapchat is just like a facial,
Facial recognition.
recognition, facial like
They've been saying that about
yeah.
everything. They say it about Instagram. They say it about Facebook. They say it about
by the
MySpace.
NSA. Yeah.
They said it about ICQ when it was doing.
They said
the,
it about the Amazon Echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say about everything.
And that's by the CIA and
Personally,
NSA.
I don't give a shit. I've got nothing to hide.
HBO and
Yeah.
If you want to
Sad
come after me
things.
about something real small I've broken the law with, I don't know, today I went like 15 over the speed limit for a whole 3 hours.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But you weren't sure.
But I've got nothing. Yeah, it's fucking Route 9.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Jake drives like a granny out there. It's crazy. I'm like, why are you driving so slow? Oh, that's just what I do. I'm like, wow, you're getting fucking old. Well, anyway, we all know how
Jake, you just got called out.
Jake's like, well, he said, I can't remember what he said. I'm like, dude, this is my stomping ground. I drive out here all the fucking time. So I do go a little bit faster, I know some other people that drive way faster than I do, but
I can't help but
That's not
notice that you
mean.
looked at Brandon when you said that.
yeah. So anyway, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, people are connecting into a system.
Yeah.
Even when you sign your name to get the phone, your information's going in there. So why continue to be scared and hide it when you've already given them all the information that they need? When I say they, what am I talking about? The NSA, but we went about that last year.
They, them.
So anyway, going back to Brandon and his phone, I'm glad that you really, really like it. There's way more stuff that you can do with this thing, and it's really cool. And you've only scratched the surface. I'm telling you that right now. Once you get a little more comfortable, I'll
It's
show you
amazing.
some advanced stuff.
I can't help but notice that you've got a weird pink line going down your phone.
Yeah, there's some pixels that are burnt out on it.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Weird. Oh,
Um,
okay. So
yeah, go ahead.
I read this article and I purposefully wanted to mention it because I wanted to get your take on it. I
Do it.
can't wait to see your reaction.
I'm excited about this too because you told me about this, and
Yeah.
I'm.
Do you
pretty-
remember the original Beast Xbox controller?
Actually, you know what's funny? I was looking at it right now, and I was gonna start talking about that soon.
They're
So-
bringing it back. The Xbox One.
This
Hyperkin is the company that
I'm-
made the Superboy.
So wait, okay. So first of all, that thing is fucking huge.
It is a
It is.
tank.
It
My
is.
hand, look,
You
these
could
hands.
beat somebody to death. Honestly, if you wanted to, and
Dude.
honestly, if you had the means, motive, and
You're right.
opportunity, and they were sitting across from you wearing a yellow shirt, and their face, the cut of their jib, just irritated you to your core for an unknown reason, you could just beat their literal brains out.
Rest in peace, Brandon.
You know,
Oh, Brandon! Hey, what's up? I didn't see you there.
Nice
I
yellow
once-
shirt.
I once saw a video on the Braille skateboarding channel of the dude skateboarding an originul Xbox.
Oh, yes, I remember
And you
that.
remember
was
that?
awesome, by the
Dude,
way.
the thing wasn't fucking breaking.
That was funny. They put a skate. What do they call them?
Like trucks and wheels.
Skate trucks
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
and they were kick flipping this Xbox original.
Original
Um,
Xbox.
So okay, so they would take this god awful controller. I mean, you got used to it after a while, but
You really did.
my hands
Yeah.
are smaller.
Yeah.
So it was harder for me to hold on to that damn thing, especially when I was what?
It's, you literally like
16
held
when it came
like
out,
this,
17,
You know?
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
then Brandon's hands are a little bit bigger. He'd
Oh,
be
God,
fine with
no.
it. It'd be great.
You had to have been like 15.
I said 15, 16.
Yeah, I think I was 13 or
Yeah.
13
Pretty sure
or
it was
14.
like 2.
yeah, you pretty much were. So it had
That's
this
probably
really,
about.
it had this
11 or
really
12.
shitty, like offset buttons on them that were
Yeah.
black and
Oh, the black
white.
and white buttons.
That's probably what your. I mean, we have select. Well, it's not select and start anymore. It's like
It's
start and then
back.
an option
Yeah.
Yeah.
button, like a capture
There's-
button,
Yeah,
a share
well, no,
button.
there's start and back on the Xbox, and then there's options
back,
and
yeah.
share on the PlayStation.
PS4. So these buttons would have to be in replace of those.
Yeah.
But it was just a bad. I mean, are they going to change the symbol in the middle?
I would
of it?
probably buy it.
Are they
still.
just going to be like, okay, you know what? We have a warehouse out in like Arizona full of these fucking things.
We're
Let's
just gonna
just-
get rid of them.
They're gonna rip out the board in it, put another board in it, and just fucking send them.
Yep.
Yeah. But sir,
Wait.
these are
Just
you know
send 'em.
these are just just send them. Don't care. Don't care what they have.
And they're calling it the Duke.
The Duke.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I kind of like the name of that.
I just think it's kind
do
of
we care?
funny how they're. No, I don't care at all. I think it's hilarious and I love it because it's them laughing like into themselves, like about like it was a giant Xbox controller. We get it. It was huge.
It'd be funny if they made it just a little bit bigger.
I actually have a funny story
They
for
added
you.
like a third leg on it.
Me and my childhood best friend, he was a huge geek and like a geek's geek.
Yeah.
And like probably we were 13, 14. I was like a Nintendo fanboy, so I was all about getting the GameCube. Oh, boy, how naive I was. Wow,
Yeah.
what I know now. I
Wow.
wish I knew back then. Anyway, I was super excited to get the GameCube, and he was all about Xbox.
Yeah.
And honestly, just being a Nintendo fanboy, I just like hated the idea of like just the idea of the Xbox. Oh, Microsoft putting out a game console. It's not going to be anywhere near as good as the GameCube and Super Smash Brothers for life. And I remember when he got it for Christmas and I got my GameCube. I went over to play Halo for the first time with him, and I hated that controller. I
The
just
Xbox
ripped
controller, the original?
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
And
the
he got Halo
GameCube
and he
controller
got
wasn't
Bloodwake.
much better.
Huh?
The GameCube controller was
Yeah.
not much better.
No, it wasn't.
No, not at all.
I remember he got Halo and Bloodwake, and I don't know if you ever played Bloodwake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The boat racing, the
Yeah.
boat combat game. It was
Yeah.
awesome. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
That and Crimson Skies. Holy shit.
Crimson Skies was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
They're
about
really hoping that they redo Crimson Sky. A lot of
know.
people want to.
They lead they bring back the servers for
Yeah.
multiplayer. Anyway, I ripped into that fucking system. I was saying it was
Mm-hmm.
just the worst system ever, and
And it was heavy.
yeah, it was.
That
it
thing was heavy.
And then,
But the
yeah.
splash screen and the UI, I loved it.
oh yeah,
it was
the
like
original
green,
Xbox
fucking
one, yeah.
gooey.
It was futuristic.
It was
and
awesome,
It was just,
yeah.
like, it would let you know.
I
At
loved
the,
it.
At the
was a
time, it
force
was
to be
like
reckoned
unlike
with.
anything
Yeah.
anyone had done.
It just the UI just looked beyond, like way beyond the PS. I mean the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 was basic, and
PlayStation
even the
2's
PlayStation 1's
UI
real
was, like-
basic.
I know, but holy shit, man! Grand Theft Auto 3, Metal Gear Solid 2.
No, I get it.
Twisted, like
I get it.
It was just it blew my mind.
You know. So
And
I
Gauntlet
mean,
Dark Legacy.
I liked the GameCube controller way less than I liked the N64 controller.
Yeah.
Even though I was looking at it, and I'm
Oh,
like,
I did
how does this
not-
work?
Yeah, I did
How does this
not
thing
like
work?
the
Motherfucking
Wait, I have to hold
octopus.
the outside, and then I have to hold the inside if I want to play different games, and then it was just
Yeah.
weird. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
But I ended up getting used to it because I had small hands. He wouldn't be able to fucking hold on to it. Those big old fucking handlebars right there. But they're made for certain types of people, and
Yep.
you know, I always said and always will say that a PS4 controller, I feel like it's kind of an all-around controller until the Xbox One controller came out. They made it a little bit smaller,
A
and
little
it just
bit more user friendly too.
I love the Xbox One
Yeah, it's
controller.
my favorite
Yeah.
controller that I've
It's
ever
amazing.
had for any
Honestly,
And
console.
everybody's copying it, and it's
Yeah.
whatever. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I
Get on
think,
it, PlayStation.
I think that comfort-wise for me personally, the PlayStation 4 controller's a little bit more comfortable.
It's because you don't have
granted-
an Xbox.
Granted, I am. I had an Xbox.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
Granted, I am wearing a PlayStation hat,
Yeah.
so You know,
Hey,
I might
I'm a fanboy
sound
too,
biased.
dude. I'm a fanboy too, and I get it.
Anyway,
But
comfort wise,
all around-
I think the PS4 controller is better. I will give Xbox their triggers. I love their triggers, and
Yeah.
I don't think
Their
that they're-
triggers are-
see,
I
I
don't
do
think that
love the
are
PlayStation
anywhere
4
near.
touchpad.
Yeah,
I love that because
That
when
is
you
nice.
when you have when like let's say for instance you're changing weapons in Far Cry. You ever change weapons in Far Cry on PlayStation 4?
Yep.
You just swipe. You don't click anything. Nothing. It's so fast. You just swipe. Done. Swipe up. Done. Swipe down. It's awesome. I love that.
I know. It's great.
And they utilize it really well in games. You know, they really do. There's a soft tap and a hard tap on it,
Yep.
and it works out great.
Well, I think
Maybe
that
Xbox should come out with some sort of something that connects
Some
into
sort
the
of something.
controller, and it's touch.
They
sensitive.
could because they have that port in the bottom that could
Yeah,
do almost
exactly.
anything.
That's
Yep.
kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now, I like how, and we're actually gonna. This is gonna segue into not really the next topic, but like the next anecdote. But I like how in Destiny, the trackpad, that you can just do everything. Like, you know,
Right.
you hit the trackpad, that brings up the menu, you can go to orbit. You know, kind of like the back button, but I think it's easier to hit than the back
That's
button
kinda cool.
on
Yeah.
the Xbox.
It is cool. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Kelly here just got on the Destiny 2 train.
It did just
Yeah.
today.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Sold my soul for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
it's
I remember
really,
you
really
saying,
amazing.
I remember you saying, I was like, oh, I didn't think Destiny 1 was that good.
And a
Whatever,
lot of people
yeah.
thought
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was a little bit below what it should have been, but
Yeah,
they've changed so much with it. It's
the hype
unreal.
Destiny 2 is
was
definitely
higher
what
for
Destiny 1 should have been.
Yeah.
than I actually thought the game was. Like the game
Mhm.
was not as good as the hype for it was.
And I played it. I played that since beta. You know,
Yeah.
I pre-ordered it. I got the beta for it. I picked it up.
But
on the
Destiny
day it came
2,
out. But
The hype was real for that game too, and they
Right.
really followed through. It feels more fluid, and the follow through.
I like the word that you said earlier. Refined.
It is very refined compared to
I would-
Destiny 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, it's not even refined. It's great.
It's great. Okay, Tony, the tiger. Come on now. So real quick with the whole controller thing. We discussed a little bit of the Hori pad. I think we discussed it. I got the Hori pad for Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
Um,
Kind of like the Pro Controller, but without.
kind of cheesier,
Nothing-
but it's half
doesn't
the
have Rumble.
it's a
right?
half the price.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about Rumble. I
Yeah.
could use. I don't
It
really care
doesn't
about
have
it.
the NFC thing, so you can't use the amiibos. Oh no.
They're yeah.
Yeah, who gives?
They're coming
I
out
don't know.
with
Amiibos, whatever.
that's just NFC is all that is really,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. They're coming out. Hori's coming out with a Pokken Tournament DX Pro Pad for the Nintendo Switch, and
cool.
it literally looks like a PS4
Pikachu.
controller. Looks like a PS4 controller. There's no joysticks on it, but so the pad itself just looks like the original Nintendo controller. So it just has D-pad, and then your 4 buttons. That's it. But it's shaped
What?
like
Really?
a PS4 controller. I think that this is paving the way for the classic games that they're going to have on Nintendo Switch. I want
I
to believe that
certainly
this is
hope
going to
so.
happen. So I'm looking at
Kind
it
of
and I'm
like
like,
a
oh my
teaser
god, it's
trailer.
new, but it's classic. Oh, I want it. Because if you look at this, it looks exactly like the PS4 controller with the Super Nintendo pad with the 2 buttons on top.
Yeah.
And it just made me excited looking at it. So,
Maybe tickle.
oh, dude, pink,
Yeah. Tickle
all pink.
So I was actually talking to you. Actually, I put it in the WinterHouse
He's pointing
Facebook
at me,
chat.
David.
David. All right, let's get it on camera. And so I was at Books A Million. All right, there is one person that
Bam!
goes to Books A Million.
You're the only
It's
one.
me.
I don't know. Do you
The
go?
one person
go there?
that's ever been there. It's actually not a bad place.
Still has a cafe and everything.
I
It's
think
not
great.
a bad place,
I
but
got a
it
frappe
has
from there,
it had these
and it was fucking frappalicious.
it has these
Frap-
weird things there.
Frap-
Fucking frappalicious, man,
I don't go to
and fergalicious.
that place. Has this weird thing there.
Well, it is a
They're
Christian
called
bookstore.
books. They're called books.
Yeah.
I mean, what is a book? People
Uh,
still read that stuff? Oh,
it
Carrie.
is a Christian bookstore.
Yeah.
Like, so they have like a
What does
whole
that have to do with it?
Bible section.
Yeah.
And I almost like burst into flames walking through it. as I'm sure Kelly probably would. You know, we're on that level. Anyway, but they have like all those, you know, those Retron systems.
we have
they
one
have like
here,
a
I believe.
whole wall of them, and they're
Yeah.
dirt
Oh,
cheap.
that's cool.
They have the Superboy there. They have the I can't remember what.
Oh,
it's
those are the
called.
pictures you sent me.
Yeah.
The retro.
They have the Game Boy one that you actually put your phone into, and you use your phone as a Game Boy, and it's like $45. It's awesome, and I think I was gonna consider getting the Superboy until I remember that I actually have to have SNES games, and the SNES Classic was coming out, so.
We have tons of SNES games here.
Yeah.
But they just, I mean, they sit there, and they will continue to sit there.
Yep.
Because people do play them on, ROMs, and they also
Yep.
play them on, those virtual devices, and hopefully the SNES has enough where we can get our
Another
fucking hands on
Another
one.
great reason to have an Android is for emulators.
Oh yeah, you can play all the old stuff on there.
Yeah.
You can also play any Sega game that they've put on there, which is almost all of them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I had them all downloaded at one time, played it twice, and I was done.
Like the newest Retron, like the Retron 5,
Right.
it's like $110, which
I mean, it does
honestly
everything.
not bad.
It'd be
Yeah.
cool if it just played. It played PlayStation 2 discs. And
I know, right?
PlayStation 1 discs.
That's gonna.
I still
don't know
want
if
to
that's-
find
I
Brave
don't
Fencer
know-
Musashi.
I don't know if that's still like considered like retro now. PS2, is that retro gaming?
Yeah, I think it would be by now.
By now, yeah.
When was it? 2002.
2000, October 22nd, 2000, I think it was when
Yeah.
the PS2 came out.
17 years ago.
And then guess
when
what?
do things become retro?
And then the Dreamcast came out like 2 weeks after, and that was I will
Oh,
firmly
rest in
attribute
peace,
that.
Dreamcast.
I will firmly attribute that as
R.I.P..
being the death of the Dreamcast. They released it 2 weeks after the fucking PlayStation 2.
They should have waited,
like
or did it before.
I know they should have done it like a year after.
I would say a year after would have been good because I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, the PlayStation 2 did not have as good graphics as
No.
Dreamcast.
No.
Dreamcast was beyond its time.
But
Tiny little system, had that cool little circle.
yeah,
And who doesn't like a cool circle?
everyone loves a cool circle.
Everyone
You
likes
know
a
who
cool
doesn't?
circle.
You know what people don't love? That
What?
fucking VMU that I had.
I have one of those.
I
Wait, you
know.
didn't like the VMU?
I didn't.
Why?
I thought it was dumb. You couldn't just give me a memory card. It was like $50.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can put information on there, and then you could share it with other people by connecting them together. And then you could also, it had little
I didn't
controllers
know
on
anybody that owned another Dreamcast. I was the only one in my neighborhood.
To have a VMU, you have to have friends.
I don't have friends. Leave me alone.
Dude, seriously, I have VMUs here. They're like tiny little game. Do you know what we're talking about, Brandon? I know you're a little bit younger.
Virtual memory.
How old
units.
are you, Brandon?
Only 23. So
You're
this was like
23 fucking years old. I
Just like
pictured
released
you
when I was
for
born.
like north of 40.
Okay, but seriously.
You're 23 and you're in charge of this fucking asshole.
Okay. Yeah, he's doing good for himself. Listen though, I have some. I'm going to show you them, but they look like little tiny Game Boys. Is what they look like. They've got a little
They really
directional
do.
pad on it and a couple little buttons. And you could actually connect them together and play games on the screen against other people in this little memory unit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea was kind of cool. That's almost like a little fucking Tamagotchi for its time.
It
I mean, that's
really looked like a fucking
a little
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi,
Yep.
and it was cool. And then you bring it to your friend's house, you connect it in, and then bam, your information is fucking there. Bam,
Bam!
good for you, Dreamcast.
gonna
Rest
flip.
in peace.
I know that.
They had that fucking that game where you sit on a
They had a Dreamcast at Bull Moose today.
How much was it?
$44.
What the fuck, bro?
I don't have $44 right now.
Okay,
have
so
20.
there's this one game. I can't remember exactly what the name of the game was, but you're like this business guy,
That sounds great.
and you sit in a fucking office chair, and you're going like down the hill. Like
What
you're
the
racing down the
fuck?
hill on this like chair. This
Yeah,
office
it's a
chair.
racing game. I'll buy it.
We knew you would. We knew you'd be really happy about that.
Hey, you remember that? You remember that Sega game where you were like a fish with a man's face? It's literally called
Semen.
Semen.
Wait,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
and you had the controller and the piece that went on the controller, and you could talk to it.
Yeah,
It was called
and
Semen.
you could like make it feel good by talking to it and saying nice things. This is really gone off the rails here.
What is happening? What is happening?
Somebody
yeah, I remember.
made the world's biggest Game Boy replica, functional Game Boy replica.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
and the
know.
screen, the whole thing's fully functional.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you stretch? Is it like a dot matrix screen or
I
whatever?
think
It's a
so.
dot? Because how can you stretch that big without making it,
It
just
took
look
them a
bad?
month to do it.
That's it.
I know, just
Good,
to
good for that guy.
They made it seem like it was like, oh my god, it took them
It's
like
like
a
the
month to
buttons
do
are
it.
so big, the size of your face, you punch them to friggin' do anything. Can somebody hit the left D-pad for me? And there's just like 3 people standing in front of it punching at different times.
And
I picture this happening.
remember when you gave me that original Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know. I remember that you told me that I had to get a controller for it,
Yeah.
and they had.
They're gonna resell them. You'll be fine.
Well, they had a blue, like one of those like acrylic blue like
See-through
Xbox
ones?
controller S. The S. Remember when they finally redesigned it?
Xbox controller S. Wow, barely.
Yeah.
Oh no, I do.
Yeah. As soon as they repackaged, I remember they changed
I
over
totally
to the.
remember that.
Yeah, I remember
actually.
when they changed over to the Xbox controller S, and that's when they started including it in the Xbox bundle with Jet Set Radio feature and Sega GT. And
Okay.
that's actually when I got my Xbox,
Mm.
and I thought it was light years better than that fucking beast, than the Duke.
Yeah, didn't they make it a little smaller?
Oh, they made it way smaller.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
was difficult for people, small people like me. To...
I really want them to make a new MechAssault
My
game,
little
by the
hands.
way.
MechAssault was cool. I didn't mind that.
MechAssault was awesome.
Yeah, I hated. Well, I
That
mean,
was
what
the
I did was
very first Xbox Live game.
yeah,
Very first one.
I like just stepping on the little people that look like ants. You'd go over to like you go over to their like their bases and stuff when they're shooting missiles, and like you're sitting there shooting the bases, and these little tiny freaking ant like people came marching out, and you just like stomp. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. We honestly we gotta move away from this because we could talk about. I think all of us could talk about like those old Xbox games all day.
Yeah, but I mean, not all of us. Because classic to this guy over here is like Xbox 360.
Pretty much.
I want to punch you in the fucking neck.
Oh, Xbox. Speaking of Xbox, you know what's really friggin' cool? And
What
I
is
love,
really friggin' cool?
I love when they take technology and use it for other things it's really not meant to be used for.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, they take Samsung S3s.
And they have sex with them.
They take Samsung S3s and they make mini satellites with them, and they blast them up into space with a Samsung Galaxy S3. That's crazy. I love that. We can talk about that another time. The Xbox 360 controller is going to be used. It's going to be used for military submarines. I mean, U.S. Navy submarines.
Wow.
The Xbox 360 controllers.
That's crazy.
That is cool. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're going to do as far as how they're going to use them. I'm sure that's classified information, but that is really neat. I love that.
I'm gonna declassify something for you. Up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
It's how you release the really, really big missiles.
Yeah.
The ones that don't-
Just get David really drunk and then release some big missiles.
It's the
The
code
ones
for
that-
their nuclear launch key.
the ones that North Korea can't get their hands on.
Yeah. The code for their nuclear launch key.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh my
ABAB. That's the
Yeah.
Contra code. No, that's not the. Yeah,
No.
that's the Contra code.
Yeah.
The Konami
Well,
code is
The
up,
Konami,
up, down, down,
Yeah.
whatever. But
which
the
was
Contra
used for
code's
like almost all
ABAB.
their games.
Yeah.
They
You
had,
know,
like,
in
the same-
you know, in the Gradius games or Gradius, if
I
you put
love
in-
those.
You know, if you put in that code, you just blow up.
Yeah. It's like, are you trying? I love when they take like when people are trying to cheat, they do certain things in the game. Like I think we talked about Far Cry. I mean
Oh,
Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout. If you try to cheat in the game, one of those death claws come after you, and you can't really kill it.
In
And
Metal
it
Gear
just
Solid
destroys you.
5,
And they keep coming.
if it's not really cheating, but in Metal Gear Solid 5, if you like put it on really easy mode, they like make Solid Snake like wear like a chicken hat or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so if you're like trying to like stream it or something, oh, this is expert mode. It's not because he's wearing a silly hat.
Wow, that's crazy. Did a lot of, I mean, did you ever watch Attack on Titan?
I didn't Actually,
You know, it's the only anime that Carrie. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was Carrie. We got obsessed with it.
hold this
like,
camera.
It was
It's gonna
absolutely
die, like,
amazing.
soon.
The story was just amazing. Well, they made the game, and I don't even know if they ever finished the fucking anime, really. But they made a game with it, and now they're making Attack on Titan 2. But I heard such little things about Attack on Titan, the first game, that I couldn't imagine they'd be making another one.
I thought they. Do you remember when they made the fucking? Your foot's just on there, isn't it? It's just super distracting.
You're just
Well,
Oh, yeah.
anyway, I remember they made the Attack on Titan live action movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it
I heard
ever
that was bad.
premiered. Oh yeah, it was
I heard that was
terrible.
just the
It
worst
was
thing.
terrible.
I'm more of like a Ninja Scrolls kind of guy.
I'm
really,
more of like a live action
turning me on,
Death
Tony.
Note guy.
I want to watch the rest of that, but it was kind of
Oh,
creepy.
it was awful. It was awful. Also,
Was it really bad?
they announced the Punisher Netflix series. I'm really excited. You guys ever watch Daredevil on Netflix?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you remember the Punisher? What was that, season?
Well, they had a
2 or
movie, The
season
Punisher.
3? Yeah, they had 2 movies. They had the awesome 2004 one with oh my god, I can't remember his name.
The cool guy.
Yeah,
Okay, keep
and
going.
then they had a really awful one in 2007, The Punisher Warzone.
Hmm.
Anyway, the guy that played the Punisher in Daredevil, he's like, he's gonna be the new Punisher, and they just dropped the trailer for it. It's coming. I think it's coming this fall or like very soon. I think, or early 2018. But I'm so pumped about it because it's Shane from The Walking Dead.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's gonna
cool.
make a great Punisher. If
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
if you know Joe Bernthal,
yep.
he's gonna kill that fucking role.
That's crazy.
He really is. I'm pumped
Joe
about it,
Bern-
as you can probably see. I'm pumped like a penis.
Penis pump.
Pumped like a penis. So
that'd be cool. I mean, he's a cool actor.
Yeah.
I like him. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like there's not much hype around it. I think people are over the whole superhero thing right now.
no, well, you know why?
Why?
Because Netflix is fucking it up
Do you think?
with the Defenders and Iron Fist. Who
oh,
gives
the
a
Defender
shit?
was bad.
Defenders is
Iron
awful.
Fist. I tried to get into that, but I was like,
Yeah.
this guy's turning into like a little like.
He's
Okay, I
whiny
liked in the
fucking
beginning how
baby.
he was kind of wholesome, and then all of a sudden he's like, "This is my business." Blah 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 blah. I'm a little bitch.
My parents owned
Yeah,
this
my
20
daddy-
years ago,
my
and I
daddy
don't
did
really know
this.
anything about business, but it's mine.
But it's
now.
mine.
Yeah.
And he just became a fucking snotty piece of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. So I'm just,
Jessica
like, done
Jones
with
was
it.
awesome.
It's 'cause
Daredevil,
That's
awesome.
the bitch from Apartment 23.
Yeah. And it was also what else was she in?
A lot of other things with bitches in apartments. Number 23.
24.
I don't know. Okay, so that's. I mean, yeah.
I'm
Can
excited
we
about it.
celebrate real quick about
Yay!
the Netflix app
Oh,
showing up on the Nintendo Switch soon?
really? I've not heard of this.
I'm just reading it right now as we're like talking about something else I don't care about. Whoa,
Oh my!
I don't know what's happening. But yeah, we talked about like apps going to it, but I don't want to spend any time on that. But good for
It's
you,
coming
Nintendo.
soon. Nintendo,
And congratulations on your 4.7 million Nintendo Switches sold, recording back in June, I think.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Kudos to you.
That's weird because I only thought that there were like 20 Switches available.
So Virtual Driving Paradise, Forza Motorsport 7.
Oh
yeah.
The trailer revealed virtual driving.
I just put
Isn't that what
$5
Gears have
down
been doing
towards
since,
my
like, ever?
$100 that I'd be paying when that
For
comes
that?
out.
Yeah.
And you just got Forza Horizon 3, Brandon, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you like that?
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might become a mini Kelly and just start playing racing games all the time.
Well, please tone it down
Yeah.
there.
For the
We've only
record,
got so much time in the podcast. You excited? Yup. How excited? Very.
What have you been doing?
He's never gonna fucking
Racing.
come back after this. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my
You'll be
God.
back here next week.
This thing's getting warm in my hand.
That's what she said.
Did you rub it?
Wait, out of context, hold on. This camera is getting warm in my hand. Oh my
Vanna White
God.
over here.
Yeah.
The camera.
Everywhere. I'm looking at that fucking thing. So Fortnite is coming out with a new mode, battle royale mode. They're saying that it's going to be kind of like PUBG, which is Player Unknown Battlegrounds, and they're saying that it's going to be a direct competition with it, and that's going to hurt the sales. Well, I believe Player Unknown is actually suing because of this mode that they're coming out with.
Really?
I'd have to look a little bit more into that. But
wow, that's almost as if.
but honestly,
that's almost like the people who originally came out with Capture the Flag, like the real life game,
Yeah.
suing every video game that ever included Capture the Flag
yeah.
in the game.
Wait, I'm pretty sure that was just the Civil War, wasn't it? It's like,
What? What about the Civil
I don't
War?
know. Capture the flag stuff. Anyway, I had an idea about that, but then it just went like left field.
So,
And now I'm scared.
I have to ask.
Don't ask.
This week, are we going to do a buy it or burn it?
Not today. We're not doing a buy it or burn it. The last time I wasn't 100% prepared for it.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
there's
You
not,
just kind of
great.
threw it in my face.
I feel like this week there's not enough new, like, super.
That's why next week we're going to throw like the most random shit, and it's going to be hilarious.
Oh,
So you
yes,
should tune
yeah.
into episode 19 because this
Atari
is episode
Bluetooth hat.
18.
Buy it 8 times.
I
We
gotta look
already
that-
know this, Tony. All
I
right.
gotta look that up and see if that's actually still coming out. Because I'm gonna like prevent you from buying it. 'Cause that's what you're gonna do.
You
You're gonna
can't do that. You can't prevent me from anything.
yeah, it's true. Anyway, so Brandon, what's up?
Tell me, what have you been playing? I looked in that little duffel bag of yours.
Yeah, you got a lot of games in there.
Yeah, I have like, I don't even know how many games I play. Destiny 2,
You had-
and now
You had
Forza.
26.
Wait, when's the
counted.
last time besides Destiny that you actually completed a whole game that wasn't multiplayer?
Never.
Wow.
I feel, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's the same for me because I play a game. I don't like when things end because I'm just like I'm so involved with it, and I just hate when it ends. It's probably a problem in my sex
No,
life too.
you know,
but-
honestly, I've been thinking about this problem a lot lately because I have it too, and I think it's because like now that I'm like growing up and like I know what it's like to actually like work for the money that I have, like that I really want to get my money's worth, and I'm afraid that if I actually beat the game and complete it to like its natural conclusion, that I'll never play it again, and I feel like I'm just kind of like throwing my money away. Like as soon as I beat it,
I definitely know what you're talking about.
because knowing I worked so hard for that money.
I don't like when things come to an end at all.
Well, I get a fucking spoiler alert about life. I don't want to tell you yet.
Yeah.
It ends.
Yeah, it does. It does come to an end.
And
So
when my life ends, I'm going to write the review 0 out of 10.
A
The
lot of
graphics
times-
are awful. It's pay to play, microtransactions everywhere.
10 out of 10 would not do again. So I play a game. If it's a single player game, I usually play it until 99% and I never finish it. I'll go off into like random places. Skyrim, I think I've only completed the whole entire story once.
Yeah, me too.
But a lot of times I get up to that certain point and then I never go further in the story. I always do all the extra stuff that's supposed to do in the story. And I do that with a lot of games,
And then you
except
look to
Destiny.
where you're supposed to
Destiny's a little
go,
bit different. Destiny, there's so much more to do after the
I know.
fact
Well,
that you
the
go
funny
further
thing
in
is,
it.
like there are all these things that I'm like that I wish I knew, like when I first started playing Destiny. Like for example, get through the story as quick as you possibly can.
Right.
And then once you beat the original game, that's when the real game. Like
Right.
once you beat the campaign, that's when the real game starts.
Yeah. And,
You know,
I
game
do.
2.
Yeah, and that's the case for Destiny. I mean, the real game starts when you're finished with the game, and that's really really cool. But there are a lot of games that are single player that you just don't. You can't really go back and do a lot of extra things.
Yeah.
I mean, Skyrim, I'm sure you can. You
Yeah.
can correct me on that.
Yeah.
Fucking
You're
Kelly
playing
does
it
every
right
day.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
So
literally every
in a
day.
lot of sense, you know, you
I
can-
woke up, I went in the living room, he was playing Skyrim.
but let's say for
I can't
instance,
get myself away from
He was
Skyrim.
literally, he
Never.
was literally in armor, and he was shouting at the cat.
And the cat just wouldn't go fly across the living room. I don't
Yeah.
know what was wrong. My
What
voice
the
just wasn't
hell?
powerful enough.
Anyway, also, I just remembered 2 things. We have an Instagram now, apparently.
Yeah, let's plug everything because we're getting kind of down to closing.
Actually, no, I don't want to play
Carrie-
everything yet.
Okay, go.
So
Sorry.
shut the fuck up and let me finish.
Okay, you have
All right.
4
Final
minutes.
Fantasy IX was
Done.
just
We're out.
re-released.
It was. You said it was kind of quiet. A silent release.
Yeah, it was. There was really.
Don't look at me like I'm wrong.
There was
You-
really not that much
you
hype
literally
surrounding
told
it. I typed it up on the Facebook.
Why do you think there wasn't hype around it?
Honestly, because
You think they would have hyped
people
the
are
shit
fucking
out of it?
idiots, and Final Fantasy IX is the best one. And if anybody disagrees with me, Jeremy, I'll fight you.
I disagree with you.
I will fight you too.
I don't disagree with you that it was my second favorite one, because it was my second favorite one.
I disagree
stopped
with you
listening to
because
you.
I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games.
But I love
Come on, back
Materia.
me up, just to
I
agree
love
with me.
Materia. And I
So
love
you're a Materia
Sector
girl?
7. And I loved the Advent Children after the fact. And 7 just did it for me.
See, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do 7, and I honestly I've watched people play 7 all the way through. I watched my brother play 7 all the way through.
You watched yourself
Eric-
play 7 all the way
No,
through?
I didn't play. So I didn't complete
I love
7.
the weapons.
I
love
watched Eric complete 7 all the way through. God, he
Naked.
just has a hard on for that game. Holy shit!
He was-
God, Eric,
Stop
playing
bringing-
Final Fantasy 7.
This dude, stop bringing him up. He's gonna start getting.
I know he's picking up real stock. in
Yeah.
this.
It's gonna,
You're not getting royalties on
yeah,
this
I was
area.
about to say
So
he's gonna
fucking
start
cut it
asking
out.
for royalties now.
So I will tell you that one of the shocking things was from Final Fantasy for me, and we're gonna close this, so I'm not gonna get too far into it. But the graphics difference between 7 and then 8 and then 9 was crazy.
It was astounding, even
It
though
was crazy.
I'm
I
pretty
mean, yeah, there
sure
was
that-
quite a few years in between those, but
you know what the weird thing is? The graphical difference between 9 and 10 was amazing. Final Fantasy 10 was the first PS2 one,
right.
but Final Fantasy 10 came out a year
Mhm.
after Final Fantasy 9.
Okay.
It was only a year,
Right.
and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because they already had a whole team working on 10.
They had
like,
the story.
you know,
and-
yeah,
And I really did hate the Queen in 9 though.
yeah, I know
She
was
just fucking.
she was a
bugged
big
me.
old B word.
And then when you had to get the crowd
word
all
is
hyped up,
bitch.
I hated getting the crowd hyped up, and I also hated number 9, the very first monster you beat, the freaking plant thing
Yeah.
that was trapped, had her trapped, the princess trapped inside of
Yeah.
it. But anyway, okay.
I love it. I love
So-
it because 9 was the very first one I ever played, and it was a throwback. It was a throwback to the older Final Fantasy games.
Right.
When you didn't really have all these weird systems. It was just like you just had abilities and you just equipped them and you just had them.
Right.
So you didn't really have to think about that, and you could focus on the story and doing all the weird, stupid fucking mini games that arguably I know are terrible in 9, but I love them. So
Yeah, it's
they're
true.
the best.
Yeah.
And
All
if
right.
you don't like them, you're wrong.
So let's go ahead and plug away. Carrie, my girlfriend, has made us an Instagram
Yep.
account.
Ever
and then-
so graciously.
Instagram counts are they're pretty easy. I mean, you just throw some pictures up. We'll throw some memes up, just random things. It's
Yeah.
not going to get crazy.
We'll have some fun with it. Go
We're,
follow us
we're
on there if
probably
you want.
going to
Want some pictures of us.
dump a bunch of stuff onto it from Nor'easter Gaming Expo,
Tons of stuff.
October 7th and 8th.
It's going to happen.
Blackberry and Orono, Maine, run by the lovely Diane LaBierre.
Mhm.
And Pine State Con, October 21st and 22nd. That is being put on by Will Hasketh, who's going to be a guest sometime.
Might be after, might be before.
Yeah. It might be
Whatever he yeah, it might be during.
We're going to have some special guests.
Yep.
It's going to be great. That's going to be at the Bangor Inn and Suites.
The
right?
Bangor Inn and Suites, correct.
On Hogan Road in Bangor.
I don't know if I've ever been there, but I know where it is.
Way fun times.
Fun times.
Way fun.
So we are
I know
on
that's
Facebook.
also where they hold the deep classes.
Right.
So if
Oh,
you're there,
I know where that is.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounded really bad. I used to drop somebody off there.
Asking
I
for a
never lost
friend.
my license.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook, WinterHouse Gaming on Facebook.
Yeah, on the Twitter.
Twitter.
WH Gaming Group. Post.
Also, the
like and
podcast that
retweet
we
us.
have, we do post to a program called Podomatic. They have a really cool app that you can get into. If you don't want to get the Podomatic app, you can find us on almost any podcast app that you can find. iTunes, we're on iTunes.
I'm getting really sick of that email that we keep getting.
I'll fix it. Podium, yeah, I'll fix it. So and you can also find us on Google Music has their own podcast section. I use that; it actually works great. Podcast
You gotta help us because
Republic.
we're starting to go down in the ranks here.
Yeah, I think we were down at like 23.
It's
Today.
for the video game section.
Get
Two
your
days ago,
yeah,
we
get
were
your
at,
uncle
like-
to listen to it.
2
I mean,
days ago, we
he
were at
probably
like
likes weird shit.
500. But that part right there doesn't really bother me as much on Podomatic. It's
Yeah.
just cool seeing it go, up and down.
Get your uncle to listen to this. He probably likes weird shit.
Yes. Okay. So this is episode 18, WinterHouse Gaming Podcast. Thank you very much, guys.
Who are you again?
And my name's David.
All right.
Brandon.
Kelly.
Awesome guy.
All right. See you later, guys.